Okay, so this is the bilateral hip hinge, the cream of the crop, the king to the queen that is the squat. By now, you should have gone through the various hip hinge progressions and single leg hip hinge variations with resistance, having full competency of how to hinge on both sides, because now we're putting the two sides together. And the reason we want to do this is because of loading potential. Look, lifting more weight can only be a good thing because the glutes are a huge muscle. They're going to require a lot of stimuli for growth. Lifting heavy requires a lot of core, and let's face it, the only way you get better at doing that is with more practice. Furthermore, you get a great hormonal response. Both men and women can benefit from lifting deadlifts, so long as we're doing it properly. Let's go over the two key points we need to focus on with each rep you do. Push, not pull, and airflow helps the muscles go. By now, you should have a sense of how to hinge the hips properly, because with most bilateral deadlifts, we'll be starting from the bottom up. So we want to make sure we really got that good starting position, good flat back, neutral spine, head neutral, not leading with the head. We'll go over why that's bad, because we want to make sure we're leading with the hips. Since we're adding more weight, as you're extending up, that focus, push, not pull, we want to make sure we push through the floor and not pull the weight, because the moment you start pulling the weight, you'll start leading with the neck. What that will start doing is activating our spinal extensors. That's all red alarms. We don't want any of that. We want to, like I said, keep a neutral spine and push through the floor. By doing that, you'll naturally stand up, like lead with the hips, and that grounding effect is going to light up the glutes, light up your hips, get all the right muscles working. You should feel stronger if you do it this way. Then, as far as airflow helps the muscle go, what that means is our tendency usually is to breath hold, and what that will do is create mass tension throughout our body, compensating effect essentially. But what that does is limit movement capability and over time just jack us up. What we want to do is be able to exhale throughout the movement. So what I tend to do is at the beginning of the rep, I'll take a good inhale, and then I'll exhale as I go up and down. Making sure I just breathe efficiently throughout and breathe in efficiently at the end or in beginning. What that's going to do is help our core stay nice and activated, keeps our system nice and calm, and once again, you should feel stronger doing it this way, and you won't have your back activate up if you do it this way. Our options, if you're lucky enough, you may have a trap bar. This is usually the best because it offers us the most loading potential, and because we can step into the middle, puts the least amount of stress on our core, and it's the easiest to do. Most commonly, we have the barbell. This is a little more stress on your core, which is why you gotta be really disciplined to the breathing and make sure you keep the bar nice and close to your shins and thighs as you execute the movement. Once again, making sure I push through the floor and breathe as I move. This one is your middle ground for loading potential. We can obviously load it up quite a bit, but not as easy to do with as the trap bar, where we can load up and lift a lot more weight with the trap bar essentially. So that's why if you have an option available, go with the trap bar. But if you don't have either of them, you have a set of dumbbells, we can also do that too, where once again, we want to make sure we're keeping the weight nice and close to our body as we lower throughout the movement. In the case of dumbbells, we'll obviously start from the top up and lower down throughout. For reps, we're going to start with 5 to 10. That's where beginners should start with. When we're going lighter, if you're advanced and you're packing on some weight, you can go between 3 and 5 and keep building. Just remember, push the floor, breathe, and go bulletproof those hips.